Hey guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, hi, my name is Michi. I do lifestyle, faith, fashion, beauty kind of content on this channel. So if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, then go ahead and please subscribe. But yeah, so based on the title, I know you guys already know, but today's video is going to be on how I journal. This is one of my most requested videos ever, and so today we're going to be talking about that. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to successfully fill up your old journals that maybe you wrote down 1 page, 2 pages, you got halfway, you stopped writing and you got inconsistent with it. We're going to be talking about how it improves your mental health, and we're going to talk about what things you should journal. Anyway, so I wanted to share a little bit on why I started journaling in the first place. So I feel like all of us desire to start journaling forever, since we were young. So that is exactly what happened to me. All my life I've actually tried to journal. I'm gonna see if I show you guys around here in my storage somewhere of a journal that I actually bought maybe 7 years ago, that I actually tried to start writing in, and I never got past the first 5 pages. But then there came a season of my life where I had to write. There came a time in my life, I think it was year 2020. I think year 2020 was one of the worst years for all of us. It was a very dark season for me. Actually, some of the things that I was going through, there were things that I couldn't really talk to people about, or I couldn't really tell a friend. I really couldn't tell anybody what I was going through. It kind of took me to let out so much of what was going on in my head. I just realized that there was so much bottled up inside, and I just started scribbling. And after I finished scribbling, I felt so much better. I know it's silly to think that, writing down something on paper of what you're feeling will help you feel better. And it really is true, because sometimes we have so much clutter in our minds. We have so many things going on inside of us that we don't really know how much we're actually dealing with until we put it all down on paper. And that's just basically releasing it. Until you release it, you don't understand how much weight you were carrying until you did. And so I actually read somewhere that when you journal and when you kind of write down what you're feeling, you're writing down your fears, your goals, or your struggles, or what is happening in those moments, your questions. Once you put that all on paper, you go from problem storing to problem solving. That's what journaling is. Because when we have so much going on in our heads and in our minds, it is literally impossible to figure out what is really getting us down. Sometimes we're just living a rush life, and we're just, working and hustling and grinding, that we never really have time to stay, take a step back and figure out why you're feeling down. And so journaling really takes you to kind of just take a step back and kind of, figure out what it is. It's basically a space where you can reflect on everything that you're going through. And that is when my journaling habit started. And so I bought myself a journal, and I really just began journaling. And I just kind of wanted to touch on this subject really quick, but journaling is not just for girls. I think that we kind of think that because we think of a journal as a diary, and that's one of the reasons why we fail to actually journal successfully, is because we think our journal is like a diary, and it's not. Okay, there's no Dear Diary. I mean, if you do that, that's great. Actually, all the freaking people in the Bible were journalists. They all wrote down what they saw Jesus teaching. So just giving you a little Bible reference. And actually, we read those books today and we receive from them. You know what I'm saying? So please don't limit yourself and just start. But okay, so moving on. So one of the reasons that I feel like most of us, or at least this happened to me, why we don't actually go through with journaling is because we're really afraid for someone else to kind of read it. And I totally get that. I feel like your life is very personal, it's very private, especially things that you're struggling, your thoughts, things that you're going on the inside. I completely understand that, but don't let that keep you from, actually having a space that you're truly yourself. And if you are feeling like that, I also have another option for you guys. So for the people out there that don't like to write, writing is not your thing, and you prefer digital writing, I have an app for you guys that a really great friend actually recommended to me a while back, and it's called Zoho Notebook. If you just search it up, it literally looks like this on the Apple Store, and it is such a great app. And the reason that I recommend this app, if you're struggling through what I said about kind of scared that someone would read it, this has a perfect alternative, because it has a little lock, so you can have multiple things. This works for school. If you have different kind of notebooks, you can write different classes here. And in specific, I have this one, which is my journal, and as you can see, it is locked, and when you click on it, it's gonna make you put your Face ID or your passcode, and it's the only way that you can kind of write without anybody else seeing. So if you want to start off that way, then there's an option for you guys. So another reason why we fail is because I've actually went through this, and I hear a lot of people go through this, is that you try to focus so much on like your handwriting, right? I feel like in the beginning I was trying so hard to write cute and nice, and honestly by the end of like 5 sentences your hand is hurting and you no longer want to write anymore, and it just looks, it like feels more like torture than you actually wanting to enjoy it. And that comes because of another reason why we fail, is because we're writing as if someone is going to read it. And let me just say something really honest with you guys, I feel like that a lot of times, and that is the reason why I was never able to succeed in any of my journals, was because I was writing as if someone was going to read it. If you write with that thought in mind, then you're never going to get anywhere with journaling. Like, you're not going to be your true self, you're not going to actually like fulfill the point of a journal. So I just want you guys to kind of get that out of your minds. When you're writing your journal, please do not write like if someone else is reading it, because if you're doing it for that, then honestly don't journal. Just literally talk to a person, talk to your parents, talk to a friend. Just remember that, keep that in mind. When you're journaling for you. Sometimes when I journal, the only person that I am thinking that's gonna read it is my future self. Okay, so if you're doing it with that intentions, then it's fine. Okay, but I feel like in general, when you're writing a journal, you should just be writing it for your future self to read it and be like, oh, okay, you're dumb, why'd you do that? And honestly, a lot of the failures that I'm sharing with you guys are literally all the failures I went through. I did all of these things, and so I know I'm literally talking to you guys out of experience. But yes, one of the things that I actually did for a long time that really kept me back from enjoying journaling was like kind of wanting to put every single detail of your life. Like, you just want to write down a huge narrative on your journals, and that is not it, sis. It's not it. Your hand is gonna start cramping, you're gonna get tired, you're like, ugh, I don't want to do this anymore. Because honestly, it's better for some of your things like memories to just stay as memories. Obviously, if you want to write something down that you accomplished or something huge in your life, then obviously you want to write that down so you can go back to look back on it. So a lot of the times why we fail in journaling is because we literally try to write a narrative and we're just kind of writing every single detail of your life. Please don't do that unless you actually genuinely enjoy it and you're doing it just so that you can look back at your life, then that's fine. But if you're like me and you just want to like journal for your mental health and you just want to like grow and you just need a place to put your thoughts in, don't do that, because then it's going to stop you and you're going to kind of give up on it. And with that being said, that is kind of why we start getting inconsistent with our journals, which is something that I really want to touch on really quick, which is another reason why we fail at journaling. So a lot of us, we start super inspired and then things happen and life happens, and then oh snap, like I haven't written in like 2 weeks, whatever. And honestly, I found myself doing that a lot in the beginning. Like when I started, I'm like, oh, I didn't do it yesterday, I didn't do it last week, and then months go by, you're like, oh, like I haven't done absolutely nothing. So with that being said, I kind of wanted to share a tip on that. Honestly, you guys don't need to write in your journal every single day. You don't need to do it every single day. Some days you may not have anything to say. Some days maybe just it feels more forced than natural. So please don't force yourself to write something every single day unless you enjoy it. For example, like myself, actually I do enjoy journaling every single day. I feel like I personally always have something to write, whether it's gratitude, whether it's a prayer, whether it's my feeling or a question. Like I said, I'm a chronic overthinker. I have so many feelings and I have so much questions. I naturally have doubts in my mind. So naturally I have a lot of things going on in my head. For example, I have these 3 little journals. I'm pretty sure you guys have already seen. I already filled all 3 of these up. For example, this first one, this was the first journal I've ever, actually this is the first one that I bought and I started journaling in. As you can see, it's really small. It's actually not even that big. But you see, I wasn't lying to you guys. It literally says 2020. So in this one, I started in February, it looks like. And I ended up like in May, April, like ending of April. So this took me like 2 months to finish, probably because it was really thin. This one was my second one. Obviously, this is a lot bigger. This one also took me a very short time. This one I wrote in May and I finished it somewhere like in October, no, ending of September. So I filled this whole notebook up in a couple months. I'm literally showing you guys real life examples. I'm really giving you guys my experience. This notebook I literally got in October of last year. We're currently about to be in September. So this one took me almost about a year to fill up. Because I guess in this season of this journal, I wasn't going through as much as I was going on in this one. So I just wanted to get that out the way. You don't have to be as like, oh my god, I have to journal every single day. But if you do, if you really want to get more consistent with it, one of the tips that I'll give you guys that really helped me journal every single day is honestly to find out what do you do every single day. For example, myself, I read my Bible every day. That has to be something that I do on an every single day basis. It's consistent, so I journal every single time I do my Bible. Maybe for you, maybe you drink a cup of coffee every single morning. Maybe while you're drinking your coffee, you can do a 10-minute journal in the morning, or I don't know, every single day, right before you go to sleep, you check your social media for about 10-15 to an hour, or maybe more. So a good tip that can help you guys is honestly to leave your journal next to your bed, so therefore you can wake up in the morning and either write, or at night when you're about to go to sleep, just take your journal and your pen right next to you, like right at your nightstand next to your bed, and just start to write. The thing that encourages me to finish a notebook is the discipline of saying, like, I'm not gonna buy a new notebook and I'm not gonna write in a new notebook until I finish this one. So journaling in itself is a spiritual discipline. It's just a regular discipline. So maybe that's a little trick for you to tell yourself, a little discipline that can help you finish all the way through your journal, to tell yourself, I'm not gonna get a new one until I finish this one. All right, so now that we talked about all the failures and the things that you shouldn't do for journaling, let's talk about the things that you should do. So for me, I journal every single day, which meaning I pray every single day because I do this. So in my journals, I actually do talk to God. So on my journals, I'm like, God, dude, like, I know you're busy up there, but like, hello, hi, newsflash, your girl, your daughter, yeah, she's struggling, okay? She needs your help. So for me, that made me enjoy journaling so much more when I started talking to God in my journals. So you could do that, but if you're not a believer, then I completely understand. You can do it different. Like I said previously in the video, you can just honestly talk to your future self. Another thing that you should do while journaling is be as honest as you can. That's why in the beginning of the video, I kind of told you guys, don't write as if someone else is going to read it, because then you won't be as honest. A lot of us, we're not good at feeling things. So what we do is tell ourselves a lie, and we kind of just shut it down and move past that. And when you do that, you're never going to figure out and never grow as a person. Another thing that you could do in your journal is a place for you to visualize. For me, my journal is a place for me to visualize. Naturally, I'm a visionary. Like, I'm always looking towards something. I'm always working towards something. Maybe that can be something that you can look forward to. For me, this is why I look forward to journaling, because this is a space where I'm like, okay, this is what I want, this is what I'm going after, this is what my dream life is like, this is what I was called to do, this is what I'm passionate to do. So in your journals, just start visualizing, you know, dream, allow yourself to dream. It's actually healthy to dream, and it actually could be a place of hope. If maybe you're going through a season that is dark and you're going through a couple things, that's what I did. My journal was a place of hope. I would just write down things that maybe seemed impossible, or I don't know, things that I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm ever gonna get out of this, but I would visualize in this journal, and I would write down where I want to be in life and where I want to go and how I want things to be different, and it could create a place of hope. You know, sometimes our minds can create the darkest story. In our minds, we could create like these false scenarios that don't really happen, or it's not gonna happen, and that can sometimes really be the enemy just trying to pull you down and make you feel like you're losing and make you feel like you're never gonna make it. But that's not true. Let your journal be a place for you to hope, a place for you to dream, a place for you to find the light, you know, find God in the journal. Another tip that I found really helpful in journaling is honestly to after every single month. I do this after every single month. May, see, like I wrote May. This is kind of what I learned in the month of May. So this is a place for you kind of write all your accomplishments, what good things happened. Like, that's a good thing to do. Don't always write down everything that is bad or all your like current situations. Also write down the good things that happened in your life. I feel like this was another reason why I actually enjoy journaling so much, because it's a way for me to track what God is doing in my life. And lastly, for my believers out there, all that I wanted to say was, for me, my journaling is me talking to God, and then the Bible, me reading the Bible, is God answering me. Honestly, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. I'm literally not lying to you, but I will literally journal 10 minutes, 15, maybe 20 before I read my Bible, and every single thing that I write to God, and God literally answered exactly what I had just wrote. so it kind of goes from like problem to solution. But that's basically it for today's video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments how you guys do your journals. I would really like to know, maybe try something new in my own routine. But let me know what you guys thought and like what you guys do for your own journals. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.
Too bad I've been sticking on your mind. I know you like it how I rock it from behind.